My 600lb Life Season 13 has featured many engaging patients. Many of them were already in critical condition due to their weight. Some were also struggling with multiple health complications, making their weight loss journey more difficult. TLC recently released a synopsis for the upcoming episode of Season 13, featuring the story of a pastor named Juan. Keep reading to see his episode. The previous episode of My 600lb Life Season 13 featured the story of Juan. He was relying on his family for his daily needs. But it seems he has gotten too comfortable with his life and has also struggled with being too attached to his mother. However, his life was already in danger, and his mom wanted him to make some changes. Due to this, he decided to seek Dr. Now's help. There haven't been any updates about his current progress. But fans hope he will make it through his journey, especially after they saw how broken her mom is seeing his situation. TLC recently released a synopsis for the upcoming episode of My 600lb Life Season 13. According to the network, the episode will feature the life of Pastor Juan. His love for food led to his life-threatening weight. It has also affected his way of serving his congregation. Juan was introduced as a pastor who loves preaching and singing. But such activities became difficult for him due to his size. Due to this, he decided to help himself first before others. Juan will also face emotional battles throughout his episode, but TLC promises his story will inspire many people. TLC has yet to share if there will be more patients after Pastor Juan's episode. The 13th season of My 600lb Life has featured 7 patients so far, with Juan being the newest. Aside from My 600lb Life, Dr. Now also has another show with Lifetime called 6000lb Diaries. It has the same concept as the TLC series. It also indicates that Dr. Now is far from retiring. He also made headlines after sharing a photo of himself working out at the gym while watching his show. Pastor Juan's weight loss journey on My 600lb Life Season 13 is a powerful testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the strength it takes to confront deeper-rooted challenges, especially when it feels like the world is working against you. For those who have watched the show, they know it's not just about the pounds a person sheds, but about the emotional and psychological weight that is lifted along the way. Pastor Juan's story is an inspiring and heart-wrenching one, illustrating the battle that many individuals face not only with food, but with a deeply ingrained history of trauma, shame, and self-doubt. At the start of his journey, Pastor Juan weighed in at 600 pounds, an alarming weight that left him unable to move without significant difficulty. His life had become a prison, not just physically but emotionally. As a pastor, he was someone who was expected to lead others in their spiritual journey, but his own struggles with food and his weight had overwhelmed his sense of self-worth. In the opening moments of his story, Juan admitted that for years he had been using food as a coping mechanism, filling the voids in his life with unhealthy habits that had spiraled out of control. Food had become both a comfort and a shield. Juan's relationship with food started in childhood, and like many people who suffer from severe obesity, it was tied to emotional pain. For him, food was a refuge from difficult moments, especially when he faced abandonment and trauma. Growing up in a broken home and dealing with loss and rejection, Pastor Juan sought solace in food. But what started as a means to soothe his wounds eventually became an addiction, a coping mechanism he struggled to control, even as his weight grew. This addiction was not simply about eating. It was a cycle of emotional comfort that kept Juan trapped in a world where food was the only thing that gave him peace. His size and health problems worsened over the years, leading him to a place where he was unable to walk, had difficulty breathing, and was constantly in physical pain. His health issues, including sleep apnea, high blood pressure, and other life-threatening conditions, were a constant reminder of the battle he was losing. But it was in this dark place that Pastor Juan realized something needed to change. It wasn't just his body that needed healing, it was his heart and mind. As a man of faith, Juan's belief in the power of God became a cornerstone of his journey. He began to recognize that he couldn't do this alone. He needed to confront his emotional pain and break free from the hold food had on him. Pastor Juan's faith was a driving force that would help him persevere through the intense physical and emotional challenges that lay ahead. Juan made the decision to seek help from Dr. Now, the renowned surgeon featured on My 600lb Life. Dr. Now's tough love approach has been a staple of the show, and many patients arrive at his office feeling like they're at rock bottom. For Pastor Juan, this moment was a pivotal turning point. He was given the opportunity to undergo gastric bypass surgery, a procedure that has helped countless people lose massive amounts of weight, but only after a strict regimen of diet, exercise, and psychological evaluation. The process was grueling, and Pastor Juan quickly learned that surgery was not the easy fix he had hoped for. The challenges he faced were as much mental as they were physical. The emotional scars he carried from his past began to surface as he confronted his relationship with food. This was not just about cutting calories. It was about confronting the reasons behind his unhealthy habits and healing from the inside out. Throughout his journey, Pastor Juan had moments of doubt and despair. He felt the weight of his responsibilities as a pastor and leader, struggling with feelings of failure. How could he guide others when he couldn't even guide himself? He questioned his worth, but with the support of his family and Dr. Now's guidance, he began to make slow but steady progress. One of the most significant moments in Pastor Juan's journey was when he realized the power of community and accountability. It was no longer just about himself. His weight loss became a symbol of his faith and a way to show others that healing is possible, no matter how broken you feel. Pastor Juan had to learn that asking for help didn't make him weak, but showed incredible strength. With each passing week, his commitment grew. His bond with his wife, who supported him through every high and low, was integral in keeping him grounded and focused on the goal. The weight loss wasn't just about numbers on a scale. It was about the small victories that added up over time, being able to walk longer distances without feeling winded, the ability to get out of bed with less pain, and the emotional freedom of no longer being enslaved to the addiction of food. Pastor Juan began to rediscover his joy for life, and his outlook on the future started to shift. One of the most touching aspects of Pastor Juan's journey was the emotional healing that took place alongside his physical transformation. It wasn't an easy process. He had to face deep-rooted fears and insecurities, some of which had been buried for years. He acknowledged that in order to fully heal, he needed to forgive himself for the mistakes he had made in the past, including those related to his weight. This self-forgiveness was an integral part of his healing process. As he shed the weight physically, he also shed the emotional burdens he had been carrying. By the end of his season on My 600 lb Life, Pastor Juan had not only lost a significant amount of weight, but had undergone a profound transformation. He was a man who had reclaimed his life, his health, and his faith. Through the challenges, the pain, and the setbacks, he had emerged as a new person, physically healthier, emotionally stronger, and spiritually renewed. Pastor Juan's weight loss journey on My 600 lb Life is a story of hope, redemption, and the unyielding power of the human spirit. It shows that even in the darkest moments, when the weight of the world feels unbearable, there is always a way out. Healing takes time, and progress doesn't happen overnight, but Pastor Juan's story is proof that change is possible if you're willing to face your demons, ask for help, and believe in yourself. His journey serves as an inspiration, not just for those struggling with obesity, but for anyone who is battling an addiction or emotional pain. Pastor Juan's transformation is a reminder that no matter how heavy the weight may seem, there is always hope for a brighter, healthier future. If you are looking for more reality TV news, then stay tuned by following and subscribing to this channel for all your updates.